Carmeets, carmeets, carmeets. My favorite topic of all time. Carmeets are a lost art. There was once a time where we'd wake up in the morning, kicking our feet excited to attend these meets. That feeling was second to none. But now, that feeling doesn't exist anymore. I've been to hundreds, if not thousands, never mind, thousands might be crazy, but I've been to my fair share of car meets in the past. And I will tell you this, they are not the same. But in this video, we're gonna be talking about a huge reason why car meets fell off. 5 huge reasons, if I may. Yes, believe it or not, there are specific cars that ruin car meets. Yeah, I know it's crazy to generalize this, but we all know certain people get certain cars. And we're gonna look at 5 of those cars that will ruin any and every car meet you attend. So if you see any of them, do yourself a favor and leave, because the meet is gonna get shut down and everyone is going to jail. First though, we're gonna begin with an honorable mention. And this is an honorable mention because it's technically not a car, but we have bikes. Yes, I'm sorry to say it, bikers ruin car meets. For the most part, there's like that small, I'll say about 20% of bikers who actually have a little bit of IQ and just park and chill like everyone else, but the other 80% will make their presence known. And they will go through the craziest extents to do that. Yes, for some reason, bikers think that since they're bringing a bike to a car meet, they're better than us plebs who come in cars. They will arrive and redline their bike for 5 straight minutes just so everyone can know they've come, when in reality, none of us care at all. We give zero care. Bikers feel like since they've come on a bike, they're better than everyone else, and they somehow have to prove that to us. They start by doing the weakest burnout you've ever seen, and they start doing flybys on the street, and they just don't know how to park and walk around like everyone else. They will ride their bike around the whole meet and just leave when they realize they're not getting the attention that they're dying for. It's low-key hilarious. And God forbid they have those fuzzy bunny helmets. Yeah, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The cornballs of the bike community. I'm sorry, I've seen too much, but I'm gonna leave y'all bikers alone and actually start with my list. You guys aren't safe though. And at number 5, we have one of the most annoying cars to ever see pull up in a meet, or should I say even exit a meet. And yes, that of course is Mustangs. Mustangs and car meets do not go hand in hand. I know, it's 2025 and BMW M3s are the new Mustangs, but Mustangs aren't totally safe at car meets. And first off, before we even address the elephant in the room and call out the crowd killings, 95% of Mustangs sound terrible. I've said this before and I will say it again. Mustangs, especially 5.0s, are the VQs of V8 engines. They sound terrible if they're not done right. People just cut off the mufflers, cut off the cats, and just come to these meets and redline. Like no one's trying to hear your tin can. But now to actually address the elephant in the room, the main reason you need to leave when you see a Mustang pull up to the car meet, this will happen. Yes, for decades now, Mustangs have been the laughingstock of the community, simply because the drivers can't drive. If you ever see a Mustang pulling out from a car meet or driving out the parking lot from when the car meet was hosted, all you have to do is say, "Let me see something." And after that, the fate of the nearest crowd is sealed. Just save yourself the injury and go home. But now, I should probably clarify, so hear me out, because this is very extremely important. When I say Mustangs, I'm referring to everything but Shelbys. If a Shelby GT350 or a GT500 pulls up and it doesn't matter the generation at all, the car meet has gotten a whole lot better. And you leaving is like that one pic where the guy leaves right before mining the diamond. Next at number 4 though, we have a very interesting one, because these aren't cars per se, but they're just as menacing as every other car on this list. And those are the trucks. But hear me out, they have to be either overly lifted or overly slammed. On both ends of this extreme, truck drivers will ruin this car meet for everyone. But first, let's talk about the lifted trucks, because they and the slam truck drivers are completely different demographics. They're completely different people. The lifted truck drivers are the more tolerable of the two. They'll come, probably roll some coal on a couple of infants, maybe attempt a burnout, and just overall cause stress to everyone's eyes, but they're not terrible. The real menaces are the guys who drive slammed Chevy. The same demographic or people who drive Infiniti G35s, if you know what I mean. Slam truck drivers are bad news. 9 out of 10 times, they have speakers and subs the size of their truck, and they will pull up to the meet blasting the worst music anyone has ever heard. It doesn't matter if music is already playing, they will still come in blasting and make the experience for everyone very frustrating. They love to show off their truck, and that typically comes in ways like spamming revs, doing burnouts, and sometimes even just doing donuts for no reason. I don't think I've ever seen anyone in a slam truck actually come to a meet and be normal. And for the normal people who actually own slam trucks, your reputation has been cooked. I'm sorry. You know it's bad when you make lifted and squatted truck drivers look somewhat sane, because at least they actually park their trucks and it's only painful to our eyes. But slam truck drivers who do everything in their power to make sure that the meet gets shut down. It's almost like the biker mindset. I'm coming to a car meet with a vehicle that's not a car, so I must make my presence known. Since I'm so much more different and so much more better than all these bums who are in cars that are nicer, more expensive, and just overall better than my booty truck. Hey, a little rage bait, but come on. Cars are a million times better than trucks and bikes. And on that note, we're moving on. But before that, I want to ask you guys a question. What do you think ruined car meets? Like, why has it significantly fallen off in modern days? Is it takeover culture? Priced out economy cars? Dumb people? I don't know. You tell me. And while you guys write your answer in the comments, I want to tell you about a way where you can stay protected in your future. But before we go there, this video is brought to you by Redtiger. I've used nothing but Redtiger dash cams in the past, but this View Clear 70 is on another level. The top pick for night driving in 2025. With the dual Sony IMX678 sensors and the Starvis 2 Starlight night vision, you're going to capture every single detail, both day and night. 4K in the front and a crispy 2.5K back at the rear. License plates, road signs, even in low light, nothing gets missed. The large sensor rear camera with the Wondrix pixel technology brings brighter colors and sharper details, while HDR keeps footage balanced in every condition. It also comes with a very nice touchscreen that lets you switch between front and the rear views, adjust resolution, and explore all the built-in software features with just a swipe. And with Wi-Fi 6, transferring footage from the app is 4 times quicker than traditional connection. And if you're worried about from when you're away from the car, don't worry. The low light parking guard uses time-lapse recording, so your car is monitored even in the darkest lots. And the best part, you can literally control this dash cam with your voice. Hey, sounds like a deal to me. But if you're ready to upgrade, make sure to go to the first link in my bio and get yourself a nice little deal with your dash cam. You're welcome. I'm sure many of you are thinking, what could possibly be worse than a slam truck, a lifted truck, and maybe even a Mustang? Well, the answer is Mopars. Yes, my people have been known for ruining car meets since car meets became a thing. If you see a Mopar pull up, especially say a Scat Pack for instance, it's over. That meat is cooked. Yeah, that car meet is now on borrowed time. And the smell of tires are about to be ingrained in your frontal lobe. The reason I say specifically Scat Packs is because the owners really don't care. Hellcat owners, most of the time, if it isn't stolen, they're chill. Those cars aren't cheap to maintain, so unless they're well off, you won't catch them doing anything too crazy. But them Scat Pack owners, they're a different breed. They will come to the meet with fresh tires and arrive back at their house with their wire bars showing. And I low-key be feeling bad for the people who host these meets, because the flyers always say no burnouts, no donuts, no revving. And to be honest, all they need to do to stop all of these is put on the flyer that no Mopars are allowed. That'll solve 90% of car meet problems. They'll turn that parking lot into a drawing board of straight tire marks. And then once the cops come to shut down the meet, guess what car is taking them on a high-speed chase? And then eventually crashing into a happy family of 5. Yes, the Scat Pack. Just park your car. If there's Corvettes and Shelbys and Vipers at the meet, why on earth do you think you doing donuts and burnouts in your narrow body Challenger is going to get anyone excited? Actually, no, I take it back. I take it all back. That's my fault. It unfortunately does get attention because as soon as the burnouts and donuts begin, all the NPCs start swarming the car like they've never seen a burnout in their life. And then the drivers start to think they're so cool because they're finally getting the attention that their parents never gave them. But we talked about the worst of the worst cars. We talked about the bikers and the truck drivers that thrive off attention. We talked about the crowd killers and even the Mopar owners. And now I'm sure you guys are wondering, how could there possibly be an even worse car to come across at a car meet? What on earth could possibly be more insufferable? Well, the answer is the Infiniti G35, the final boss of low IQ car meet ruiners. Infinity drivers are actually very similar to Scat Pack owners in the way they act, but what makes them twice as worse is the fact that their car sounds absolutely dog shit. I can't think of a worse feeling than hearing a straight pipe VQ redline while doing donuts. I honestly rather hear my engine knock. Nah, let me not say that, but that's how serious I am. But G35 owners are the scums of the earth. It's to the point that finding a non-clapped out G35 is rarer than winning the lottery back to back to back to back. I'm not even joking. And they have the biggest egos ever. You cutting off your resonators and mufflers and then slamming your VQ to the ground doesn't mean you've built the greatest thing ever known to mankind. I can go on and on shaming the Infiniti G35 because honestly, if this car has no haters, I am dead. Simple as that. But there you have it. 5, well technically 4 cars that are major contributors to the current state of car meet. And if you have any of these cars, please be the outlier. Don't be weird. And I'm sure some of these are a regional thing. Like I can't imagine someone that's not in California, or for instance someone that's over in Idaho or Wyoming dealing with slam trucks and G35s. But I'm speaking from my own personal experience. Y'all be safe out there. Take it easy, my friends, and until next time.